Officials in Vegas talking now about the Cybertruck attack there at the Trump Hotel. Let's listen in.
Explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck that happened right outside of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. You see the video there.
Stop buying trucks that explode. That's essentially what the Toyota CEO just warned everyone about after shocking reports of fiery incidents involving the futuristic Tesla Cybertruck. In a world obsessed with cutting-edge vehicles, safety concerns are turning heads and sparking heated debates. With critics raising alarms and investigators chasing clues, the tension surrounding these electric giants is only growing. Tune in, because what they uncover next might just redefine the future of high-tech rides, and not in the way anyone expected. The risks of futuristic rides. Before diving into why Toyota's boss is waving the red flag, let's back up a bit. You have got this sci-fi-looking vehicle, which Elon Musk promised would be the future of trucks, tougher than steel, faster than most sports cars, and cooler than anything else on the road. Sounds great, right? Except there have been incidents. Not your usual flat tire or battery hiccup kind of incidents. We are talking about explosions, big fiery kabooms, and that is kind of a deal breaker when you are just trying to pick up some groceries. But what's behind the fire and wreckage may be even more disturbing, a truth that could change how you see the future of driving. What is the story here? One of the more recent and headline-grabbing events involved a futuristic pickup outside a fancy hotel in Las Vegas. The driver did not survive, and several bystanders ended up with minor injuries. It turns out the truck was packed with explosives, fireworks, gas tanks, and even camping fuel, all rigged to a detonation device. Not exactly your average road trip gear. The strange part? The blast was mostly contained within the vehicle, thanks to its weirdly sturdy design. Credit where it is due, but it still freaked everyone out. The leader of the long-standing car brand did not just wake up one day and decide to troll the innovative EV giant. This warning comes after multiple incidents involving these cutting-edge trucks rented through an app where people rent out their personal cars. Law enforcement is still piecing things together, trying to figure out if there is some coordinated plot or if it is all just one big, bizarre coincidence. Either way, it is enough to make anyone side-eye these futuristic rides. What really makes this whole situation interesting, or scary, depending on how you see it, is that both drivers in these cases had military backgrounds. That little detail has investigators digging deeper, trying to find out if these were just two lone wolves or part of something bigger. It does not help that both incidents happened on the same day, only hours apart. Coincidence? Maybe. Creepy? Definitely. This whole mess has put the pioneering electric vehicle brand under a spotlight, and not the good kind. Sure, their high-tech truck was built to be tough, but nobody expected it to become the center of explosive headlines. Critics are saying that the trailblazing automaker's focus on innovation might have skipped a few steps in the safety department. A vehicle designed to look indestructible should not end up being a fire hazard on wheels, right? Meanwhile, the long-established carmaker's executive is out here like the sensible parent at a wild party, basically saying, hey, maybe do not buy the flashy thing that might blow up. You can kind of see where he is coming from. This brand has built its reputation on reliability and safety. They are not exactly known for making headlines with explosions. So when their boss steps up to say, hey, maybe think twice about those cutting-edge pickups, people listen. Let us not pretend that this cautious competitor does not have a stake in this game. They have been pushing their own line of electric vehicles, and seeing their rival stumble is probably giving them a little secret satisfaction. After all, if the competition looks bad, it only makes them look better, right? Still, it is not just about brand wars. The fact that these incidents happened at all raises big questions about the safety of electric vehicles, especially ones designed to be as cutting-edge as this futuristic truck. Sure, electric vehicles are supposed to be the future, cleaner, faster, smarter, but if they come with a side of potential disaster, maybe we are not quite ready for that future yet. It is a weird time for anyone who loves cars, tech, or just following wild news stories. You have the trailblazing EV manufacturer that basically made electric vehicles cool, now facing some serious scrutiny. You have the steady old guard of the car world stepping up and throwing shade. And in the middle of it all, you have us, the drivers, wondering if it is worth it to jump on the high-tech truck bandwagon or stick with something a little less combustible. Maybe this whole saga is just a bump in the road for the trailblazing automaker. Maybe they will come back stronger, with a safer, better vehicle that does not make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Or maybe it is a sign that we need to slow down a bit and rethink how we approach this whole electric vehicle revolution. Either way, it is clear that this cutting-edge truck is not just another truck. It is a symbol of something bigger, the race to the future, the push for innovation, and the risks that come with trying to be the first and the best. Whether you love the EV giant or hate them, you have to admit, they sure know how to keep things interesting. Will people stop buying these futuristic trucks because of the steady competitors' warning? Probably not. If anything, it might make them even more popular. Because nothing makes people want something more than being told they should not have it. Maybe, just maybe, this whole mess will make us all think a little harder about what we really want from our vehicles. Is it speed, style, and status? Or is it something a bit more down to earth, like safety and reliability? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the high-tech truck might be built like a tank, but it is rolling through some seriously rough terrain right now. Whether it makes it through unscathed or ends up as a cautionary tale, we are all here, popcorn in hand, watching it all unfold. There is no denying this vehicle's appeal. It is futuristic, bold, and unlike anything else on the road. But sometimes, being different comes with unexpected downsides. When you are pushing boundaries and trying to change the game, there are bound to be risks. The pioneering automaker has always been about taking risks, whether it is with design, technology, or even marketing. But with great risks come great responsibilities, and that is where critics believe they might be falling short. It is not just about flashy designs or impressive acceleration anymore. People want to know that their vehicles are safe. They want to trust that their ride will get them from point A to point B without turning into the next viral disaster story. And while fans of the futuristic brand are known for being fiercely loyal, even they have to admit that these incidents are troubling. The conservative automaker, on the other hand, has always played it safe. They are not interested in being the flashiest or the fastest. They focus on reliability, longevity, and practicality. That is why when their chief executive officer speaks out against a competitor, it carries weight. He is not just throwing shade for the sake of it. He is pointing out real concerns that could impact everyday drivers. Time to see what makes this truck stand out and stir things up. Brute force on wheels. There are people all over saying the Cybertruck's design is essentially a safety hazard. They claim it is not only dangerous for anyone it might hit, but also risky for the passengers inside. The argument goes that the stainless steel body is too tough to crumple the way a normal vehicle does, meaning all that crash force is transferred directly to the people inside. Some even made comparison videos showing other trucks with what they call real crumple zones, and those videos have been watched by tens of millions of people, with comments agreeing that the Cybertruck is a disaster waiting to happen. It sounds pretty bad when framed that way, but those so-called experts may not be as informed as they appear. Their comparison was flawed from the start. The Cybertruck went through a full frontal crash test, the most severe kind. Meanwhile, the other trucks shown in those videos were undergoing something called a front overlap test, where only a part of the front hits a barrier. That kind of crash is much easier for the vehicle to handle. When you compare the Cybertruck with something similar, like the Ford F-150 Lightning, which is considered one of the safest trucks available, the difference in performance becomes much less obvious. The side impact test, on the other hand, reveals a lot. Imagine a vehicle weighing 3,100 pounds hitting the side of the Cybertruck at nearly 40 miles per hour. This kind of test simulates a situation where another vehicle runs a red light and crashes into the side of the truck at an intersection. The Cybertruck remains firmly planted on the ground, thanks to its low center of gravity and heavy weight. Apart from the airbags deploying, the truck appears capable of driving away. When compared to a similar test involving the Ford F-150 Lightning, it becomes clear that the Cybertruck holds up surprisingly well, making it an appealing option in terms of safety. It is interesting how people assume that Tesla, known for building some of the safest cars in the world, suddenly forgot all their safety expertise when creating this truck. A quick look underneath the front end of the Cybertruck reveals that this is not the case. The rough-looking frontal crash test was done under extreme conditions, crashing into an immovable object. In reality, most crashes are not this severe unless someone happens to drive into something like a solid wall or a large building. One thing critics often bring up is the apparent issue with the rear axle. People watching the video thought the rear axle broke during the crash. However, the Cybertruck does not have a traditional rear axle. It uses a rear wheel steering system, so what looked like a broken axle was likely just the wheels turning inward due to the pressure from the crash. Another important point is the growing trend of larger, heavier trucks in general. This issue is not unique to Tesla. Over the years, pickups have become bigger and bulkier, which poses increasing risks to pedestrians and smaller vehicles on the road. Many critics singled out the Cybertruck for being too dangerous, but regular pickups are not exactly lightweight either. For example, a typical Ram 1500 weighs over 6,400 pounds, while a Ford F-250 can tip the scales at more than 7,600 pounds. In the United States, oversized trucks are everywhere. Even people with no real need for a truck buy them, just to have the biggest and most imposing vehicle on the road. To give an idea of how extreme this has become, you can legally purchase an International CXT, which weighs 14,500 pounds, without needing any special license. It is essentially a small truck that anyone can drive. Tesla's Cybertruck fits right into this world of ever larger trucks. The vehicle weighs approximately 6,800 pounds and is constructed using high-grade stainless steel. Unlike many other heavy-duty trucks, it can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds. That level of performance is normally reserved for sports cars, making it a unique combination of power and durability. The concerning part is that anyone with a regular driver's license can buy and drive one, including inexperienced drivers. There have already been incidents involving Tesla vehicles where drivers accidentally press the accelerator instead of the brake, causing serious accidents. One notable case in China resulted in 2 fatalities. If something like this were to happen with a Cybertruck, the results could be even more severe due to its size and weight. Tesla has implemented safety measures to help prevent such accidents, including software designed to detect when a driver may be mistakenly pressing the accelerator. Despite these efforts, human error remains a significant factor. According to a study by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, approximately 16,000 accidents occur in the United States each year due to drivers pressing the wrong pedal. That means about 44 crashes happen every day because of pedal misapplication. While Tesla's safety systems may reduce the risk, they cannot completely eliminate it. The potential for high-speed crashes involving such a powerful vehicle is a serious concern. Now, a big player steps in with a new game plan: the slow march toward a clean future. Way back in the 90s, Toyota showed up with something people hadn't seen much of before, a car that seemed like it was all about going green. It felt like the start of something fresh, like a real shift toward a cleaner, eco-friendly future. Fast forward more than 2 decades, and things aren't quite as bright. The Japanese automaker is now one of the biggest players out there, with over 10 million vehicles sold in just 1 year. That was 2021, by the way. With operations in more than 170 countries, they've got a global reach most can only dream of. But here's the twist. Despite being this automotive giant, critics are coming at the carmaker, saying they're dragging their feet when it comes to cutting carbon emissions. Some folks have even accused the corporation of being a roadblock to climate efforts. The company's response? Well, they say it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. They argue that different places have different needs, and they're trying to meet customers where they're at with various options. Now, while companies like General Motors and Volkswagen have jumped on the electric vehicle bandwagon, pushing out several models already, the leading automaker's approach seems slower. They've got only one electric vehicle in the market, and its sales numbers? Let's just say they're not impressive. Only 232 sold in the United States and around 1,600 globally. Even with all the buzz around electric vehicles, executives remain skeptical, claiming that electric vehicle hype doesn't match reality. In late 2021, the automaker announced a whopping $35 billion investment in electric vehicles. Sounds huge, right? But here's the catch. They also pledged the same amount toward hybrids and hydrogen-powered cars. The message they're sending is clear. They're not betting everything on electric vehicles. Rewind to the late 90s, 1997 to be exact, the car giant dipped its toes into the electric vehicle waters with the RAV4 electric vehicle. Back then, Tesla wasn't even a thing yet, and electric cars were rare. Over the years, they tried out a few more electric vehicles but never really went all in. They even bought a stake in Tesla in 2010, collaborating on a second-generation RAV4 electric vehicle in 2012, but then sold off their Tesla shares by 2017. While other big names were racing ahead with electric vehicles, the firm stayed cautious. Their reasoning? They didn't want to rush in and risk wasting billions. Some say the cautious pace might be due to deep roots. The corporation is still run by the founding family, which often means sticking to a more conservative path. This careful mindset isn't just a family thing, it's part of their corporate culture. They like to do their homework and make sure every move is the right one. But is this strategy paying off, or are they getting left behind? Let's talk about their hydrogen push. While battery-powered electric vehicles get most of the spotlight, the automaker has been busy promoting hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. These cars run on hydrogen and emit only water. Critics aren't sold on the tech, but the company has invested heavily, even partnering with truck maker Kenworth to show off a hydrogen-powered truck at the Port of Los Angeles. They've sold about 20,000 units of the Mirai, their hydrogen-powered sedan, worldwide. The manufacturer breaks down its clean vehicle lineup into two main groups. First, the zero-emission ones, like battery electric vehicles and hydrogen cars. Then, there are the carbon-reducing ones, which include hybrids. Hybrids, by the way, are a big deal for the company. Since launching the Prius in 1997, they've sold 20 million hybrids globally, with over 5 million in the United States alone. These hybrids didn't just cut emissions, they made driving cheaper by reducing trips to the gas station. Despite all the progress, critics point out that the electric vehicle world has evolved, and the automaker's arguments against going all electric might not hold up anymore. Sure, they say electric vehicles are too pricey, batteries don't hold enough juice, charging takes too long, and the infrastructure isn't ready. But the game's changing fast. Better batteries, more chargers, and government incentives are making electric vehicles more attractive. Companies like Volkswagen believe electric vehicles will cost the same as gas-powered cars by 2025. Globally, electric vehicles made up about 5% of the market in 2021, but in places like China and Europe, the numbers are way higher. Governments are pushing hard for electric vehicle adoption, offering big incentives to both buyers and automakers. Even in the United States, federal funding is pouring into building a national network of 500,000 chargers. The automaker's once dominant share of the California market has taken a hit, with Tesla grabbing a bigger slice. Environmental groups aren't too happy with the corporation either. Activists say they haven't kept up with their competitors in pushing cleaner cars. Groups like Greenpeace and the Sierra Club have ranked them low on their lists for green efforts. And there's more. A climate think tank even named them as one of the top companies lobbying against climate policies. Despite the criticism, the automaker is sticking to its guns. They're investing heavily in electric vehicles, $35 billion for 30 electric models by 2030. They're also spending billions on battery tech, including a nearly $4 billion battery plant in North Carolina. Their only fully electric model, the bZ4X, hit the market in 2022, coming long after Tesla's flagship Model S and the popular Model 3. Some experts think the corporation has realized they need to take electric vehicles more seriously. But here's the thing. Making electric vehicles isn't just about research and development. It's about setting up a whole supply chain, building partnerships with battery makers, and training dealerships to handle new tech. Companies that started early are now way ahead in this game. Executives, however, keep pointing out that mainstream demand for electric vehicles isn't as big as it seems. They claim hybrids still have a lot of room to grow. Even with government goals pushing for 50% electric vehicle sales by 2030, they believe gas-powered cars will stick around for decades, especially in places with less developed infrastructure. In countries like Nigeria, Iran, and Indonesia, where electricity isn't as reliable, electric vehicles aren't exactly practical yet. These are major markets for the car maker, and they're betting that a mix of hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and traditional gas cars will dominate for years to come. Is Toyota playing it safe or staying smart by betting on hybrids over full electrics? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, leave comments, and subscribe for more.